Hey guys, today in this video I'm going to show you how to make DIY do-it-yourself candles that you can throw in any gift basket or even use a leftover wax if you want for your own homemade candles. Let's go ahead and jump in. So first, pretty simple step, a pot of water. Make sure your water is not going to go over your candles. If you have short candles, you don't want this much water, but I'm doing different candles and you want it to get really hot. And now I've just stuck my candles in. I'm doing 6, and I'm just going to let these sit in here and let them start to melt down. Before it is fully melted, we're going to remove the wick, but we have to make sure it's melted enough so we don't break it. We're still letting these candles boil. As you can tell, I am checking these, just slightly pulling on the wicks to see where they're at. As you can tell, this one's loosening up a little bit. Once they become super loose, then that's when we're gonna pull them out. But just while you're letting your candles like this boil down, check them every 10 minutes or so and see if they're loose enough to easily pull out. And you can't use, like, say you're using an old candle that you burned down completely like this. Once it's fully burned down, you can't use that because those wicks are already burned down, but you can boil the wax to get the wax out, get some of these pillar candles and make your own candle with the same scent. It'll just be a little bit lighter because you've used a lot of the oils in it, but you can do that. That is an option if you want to use some scent. I just don't have really any on hand that's boiled down already and burned down that I want to waste, so that's why I'm not doing that. And that's why I purchased some wax melts that you'll see to put into this, but that is an option, as you can get these candles, burn them down, and use something like this that's left over and boil it and add it in for some scent. And we're going to be using coffee mugs, and each coffee mug takes about 2 of these little pillar candles, and they're the cheapest at the Dollar Tree. That's the cheapest place I've been able to find these, for $1.25. So now that one of my candles is fully melted down and I got the wick out, drying on a paper towel, I'm taking one of these wax melts. It's 3 in each container, so you get 6 per container. I'm doing the Pine Breeze. I'm going to break this in half, and half of it's going to go in that one and half is going to go into the next one that melts down, because those are going to go into the same candle. Now that I've got it added in, you can see it at the bottom melting. It's blending in with that wax. Alright, those 2 waxes are fully melted down. I've got my coffee mug. You can do this in a bowl, whatever you want to do it in. I just rinsed mine out, so I've got a paper towel dry it. But I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun so we can get ready to hot glue the wick in. So as you can see here, I am pouring my melted candles that I've already added my wax melt into the candles, and I'm going to let those sit for a few hours until they harden. And I've already got my wick glued in. You want to do that before you pour anything in. And I'm adding so now, as you can see, this candle's done. It's still liquefied, so we're going to let it sit out for about 3 to 4 hours to fully harden. Make sure your wick stays to the side like this, because we will deal with that once it's fully done. And here I'm letting all of my waxes melt down into all of these. It's kind of hard to see, but they are slowly melting down, and I've got them side by side. Now these 2 are green and these 2 are the Sparkle and Shine. Now I am gonna work on hot gluing the rest of these wicks into my coffee mugs, and I rinsed out my coffee mugs, so I just kind of pat dry them with a paper towel. Now that I have all my wicks installed, I'm going to remove my hot gun from the counter or from the wall because I don't want it to burn anything else. Now I'm just taking oven mitts and I'm pouring the rest of my candles into my mugs. I do oven mitts. You don't have to. Some of the glass is hot. Some of it's not. It's kind of just a gamble on if they are going to be or not. And I'm pushing them back to the back of my counter to where none of the kids can get to them because the mug will be hot until they harden. Now all 3 of my candles are completed. I just have them sitting out to cool, and I'm not going to mess with these at all. I pushed them back to where the kids can't get to them. And you can save to repurpose these jars if you want. I'm not. I'm just keeping these in my sink so they don't burn anything or touch the kids and it's really hot. And once they're cooled, I will dispose of them. Here are my candles completely done. They're kind of melted down in the middle. That's just kind of how mine formed. I think it might be the shape of the mug. But you can do this with a glass bowl, anything glass you can make homemade candles with. I could have centered my wicks a little bit better if I was more of a professional, but they're going to burn the same way. And all you have to do is trim your wick how short you want it once you let your candle harden and sit out. These have been sitting out for about a week. You do not have to let them sit out that long. They take like 6 hours to harden at the most. I probably will trim this one down just a little bit more, but you can keep them how long you want them, how short. Honestly, I prefer this length just because I know it's going to be hot enough to melt the candle, and it's not going to be long enough to be able to burn anything outside of the candle. And these smell amazing. I recommend going in with a strong scent because the bland candles that we burn down are going to dilute some of your scent. So you do want to kind of use a stronger scent. When you do burn these, they're going to have a strong scent, but they're not going to be super strong because, like I said, the plain wax we used is kind of diluting some of that scent, so you kind of have to add a little bit extra. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.